The wealthiest female monarch in the world right now is also the only reigning queen left after Queen Elizabeth died in September. Queen Margaret II of Denmark is a lone wolf in the competition, as her other current female contenders were all queen consorts who married into royalty. But the chain-smoking Danish blue blood, who recently stripped her grandkids of their royal titles, stands strong on the throne, with a net worth of US $40 million, according to the Guinness World Records. Although this fortune is not bad for us common folk, it's a far cry from Queen Elizabeth's US $600 million net worth before her death. The figure is even more of a shock when compared with the world's richest royals, Thailand's King Maha Vajiralongkorn, who has a US $43 billion stack, and Brunei's Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah, who sits on US $28 billion. But if we go back in time, some of history's greatest queens ruled above and beyond today's richest royal bank accounts, when factoring in the power, land, salt, and gold they accumulated during their reigns. It's important to note, however, that the further we go back in history, the harder it is to agree on such figures, since wealth was measured differently back then. Much of what's estimated today is often debated among historians. So, from the imperial Chinese dynasty to ancient Egypt, in this video, we are going to tell you the top 10 of the richest queens in history.
Number 10. Queen Sylvia of Buganda. $1.5 million. Queen Sylvia of Buganda is a famous monarch who was born on November 9, 1964, in Uganda. Queen Sylvia of Buganda is one of the richest monarchs and is listed as the most popular monarch. According to our analysis, Wikipedia, Forbes, and Business Insider, Queen Sylvia is approximately $1.5 million. Queen Sylvia owns land and buildings, some of the most famous being the Buganda Palace, Kasubi Tombs, Kayagu Palace, and Bulange. She also has properties in the city of Kampala and other parts of Uganda. She also owns commercial properties like shopping districts and car dealerships. Number 9. Norodom. $4 million to $6 million. Norodom Monanith is a famous queen mother of Cambodia. Norodom is listed as a successful queen who was born in the year of 1936. She is also ranked in the richest person list from China. Norodom Monanith. Her net income is estimated to $6 million. She has made such an amount of wealth from her primary career as a queen. Queen Norodom owns a great deal of property, including a large estate and numerous businesses. She also has a significant amount of money in the bank. She is a very wealthy woman who is able to live a comfortable lifestyle. Queen Norodom's property is worth a great deal of money, and she is able to use it to her advantage. She is a powerful woman who has a lot of influence in the world. Queen Norodom is a very important person, and her property is worth a great deal of money. Number 8. Queen Letizia. $7.3 million. Queen Letizia was born in a middle-class family and worked as a journalist before marrying King Felipe V. She worked on TV channels Bloomberg, CNN, and the national Spanish television, TV1. Since she joined the royal family, her fortune has grown exponentially according to Celebrity Net Worth. Queen Letizia has a fortune of around £7.3 million. Her husband King Felipe's net worth is approximately £16 million. Although it is unknown how much the Queen of Spain earned while working as a journalist, it is believed most of her millionaire fortune comes from the salary she gets for her royal duties. Although King Felipe and Queen Letizia's net worths are not confirmed, the Spanish royal house makes their official budget public every year. In 2021, the official budget for the Spanish monarchy was €8.4 million, £7.5 million, which is 2.12% higher than in previous years. Number 7. Queen Victoria. $500 million. With a net worth of £500 million, Queen Victoria, 1819 to 1901, was a very wealthy woman even in today's terms. In fact, her net worth is virtually the same as that of Queen Elizabeth II, 1926, who has recently surpassed her as the longest reigning British monarch. Just like her great-great-grandmother, Elizabeth II is estimated to be worth about £500 million, which makes her one of the richest women in the world. Both queens earned their fortunes from inherited private estates, the Duchy of Lancaster, and smart investments, while Victoria also received a parliamentary annuity. Number 6. Queen Elizabeth. $600 million. It may seem a little uncouth to talk about money at a time of mourning, but it's only natural to wonder about Queen Elizabeth's net worth, given the renewed focus on the cost of the monarchy. First, let's take her personal fortune. The late Queen's personal fortune is assumed to be between $447 million and $600 million, says royal expert and writer Marlene Koenig. The finance experts at Forbes estimate her personal wealth to be about $600 million. The British publication The Sunday Times, which compiles an annual rich list of the wealthiest people in the UK, estimates around $430 million. Number 5. Hatshepsut, US, $2 billion. Hatshepsut, 1507 BC 1458 BC. Estimated net worth today, at least US $2 billion, rising to the throne after the death of her husband and half-brother. Hatshepsut's 2 decades of rule proved to be an extremely lucrative one, suggest several historians. Although it's difficult to calculate Egypt's first female pharaoh's exact net worth, it's said that her control over the mines of gold, copper, and precious stones put her in second place among the richest queens in history, per money.com. The gold mines alone would be worth around US $2 billion today, said the source. Number 4. Isabella of Castile, US, $5 billion. Isabella of Castile, 1451 to 1504. Estimated net worth today, US $5 billion. Queen Isabella of Spain controversially married her cousin and gained even more power. The Spanish queen was at the peak of her wealth when she expanded her empire by marrying her cousin, Ferdinand II of Aragon. Together, they transformed Spain into a major European powerhouse, and, in return, gained gigantic wealth that allowed them to live lavishly with precious jewels and tapestries. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Isabella had an annual income of 1.45 million ducats, the gold coin currency at the time until her death in 1504. If we calculate that in today's money, brace yourself for the following mathematical nightmare. The source estimates that 1,000 ducats are equal to 110.7 ounces of gold. Gold is currently US $1,230 per ounce. If she was making 1.45 million ducats a year, it translates to around US $5 billion. When you factor in her 30-year reign. Meet Queen Elizabeth's Russian cousin, Putty-Mouth Princess Olga Romanov, 8 November 2022. Number 3. Cleopatra VII. The US, $96 billion. Cleopatra VII, 69 BC 30 BC. Estimated net worth today, US $96 billion. A black basalt statue of Cleopatra VII stands in the British Museum in central London. In 2001, Reuters. Cleopatra VII is one of the most famous historical figures in existence, ruling Egypt between 51 BC and 30 BC. Her reportedly cunning tactics in political manipulation enabled her to continue capitalizing on her wealth and empire, which included controlling the nation's most prosperous industries in wheat, papyrus, and unguent. It's said that the multilingual pharaoh was famed for her exotic beauty. She also had romantic liaisons and military alliances with Roman leaders Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Her astute leadership skills helped bring peace to a nation that had been previously split by bankruptcy and war, reported the BBC. That being said, despite Cleopatra's estimated US $96 billion net worth, the ruler reportedly borrowed heavily from other foreign leaders and wasn't able to always live so lavishly herself. Number 2. Catherine, US, $1.5 trillion, 1729 to 1796. Estimated net worth today. Catherine the Great is said to have ruled during Russia's Golden Age. Ruling at a time that's been heralded as the Golden Age of Russia, Catherine the Great was a powerful monarch who transformed the nation into a global superpower during the 18th century, according to Sky History. She still holds the title today as the longest reigning woman in Russian history, helming about 5% of the global GDP at the time, thanks to her wealth of land. During her time on the throne, she survived multiple attempted uprisings and accumulated a fortune that's estimated to be worth US $1.5 trillion today. Number 1. Empress Wu, US $16 trillion. Empress Wu, 624 to 705. Estimated net worth today, US $16 trillion. Coming in strong with US $16 trillion estimated net worth, China's Empress Wu of the Tang Dynasty is argued to be the richest female monarch in history. Her colossal fortune, however, is said to have stemmed from a blood-soaked, scheming rise to power. According to historians, she was ruthless in her ways and, reportedly, even murdered one of her own children. She's also said to have deposed her sons who were emperors before her. Although considering this was so long ago, it's difficult to verify which events really took place. The well-educated empress and her life story have been portrayed in many films and TV shows over the years, including 2015's Empress of China starring Fan Binging. Under Wu's 15-year reign, She helped to expand the nation's empire into Central Asia and saw its economy prosper with the trading of tea and silk with Western countries on the Silk Road, as reported by the China Project. Today, she remains a controversial figure for some, but is widely considered to have made a significant contribution to supporting the country's growth at the time. 8th century, according to Sky History, she still holds the title today as the longest reigning woman in Russian history, helming about 5% of the global GDP at the time, thanks to her wealth of land. During her time on the throne, she survived multiple attempted uprisings and accumulated a fortune that's estimated to be worth US $1.5 trillion today. So here are the top 10 richest queens of history, and their unbelievable net worth, which can buy a lot more luxuries in today's time than ever. What would you do if they have this much money as these queens have?